Hi, my friends. This is Lada from astrolada.com with your August 2018 astrology horoscopes for the 12 signs. What a crazy summer! You're probably experiencing it already. It's intense with all the eclipses, with Mars and Mercury retrograde. They continue in August. This is the last very intense month of this year. Very karmic, very fated, but this is also the last month when you can turn your life around and when you can make big changes in your life. So don't miss this time. Yes, it's intense, it's difficult. No one likes changes. Well, not no one, but most of the times. But you can make something amazing. It can be extremely productive and transforming month. And of course, one of the most important events is that we have the solar eclipse, which is happening on the 11th of August in the sign of Leo. It's with Rahu. Solar eclipse is about new beginnings, guys. Especially with Rahu. Rahu is material in nature when a Rahu causes a solar eclipse, which means it will bring some tangible, material, new beginnings in your life over the next 6 months in different area of your life, depending what sign you are. We'll speak about that, and some big changes in that area of your life. It's one of the last chances to make a big new beginning in that area of your life where the one of the last Leo eclipses is happening there. So important time. Yes, it can be unsettling, it can be scary because you're entering into uncharted new territory, and everything new feels scary, but at the same time, maybe you're overdue for a change there. At the same time, we have Mars and Mercury retrograde. And Mars is extremely close to the Earth. You can see it when it rises on the western horizon at night, like a bright, red, angry star. And sometimes I would confuse it even for a plane, it's so bright. And when Mars is so close, all the fire in us increases. So we become much more, kind of retrograde planet. Many astrologers says, oh, it's not going to work at all, you're not going to have any ambition, any drive. No, no, no. Retrograde planet pushes you the limits, and Mars is about willpower, drive. And of course, with all that fire, it can misfire. We can create conflict, we can be more prone to accidents, to burns, to cuts, more prone to fighting with people that have longer consequences. But this fire is given to us to make something out of it, and in particular to make some feat of courage, because Mars rules courage, something that you not have the energy or the will to do at other times, because Mars is so much stronger. Some feat of courage, some feat of assertiveness, some feat of strength that you can achieve, some feat of physical or other kind of energetic strength, some feat of so something that you can use this willpower, feat of willpower. And but again, as I said, too much fire can overpower rationality, and we can do some too passionate actions that we later regret for. But I would advise you use this fire to fix some problem in your life, to use this willpower and this assertiveness to tackle issues that you haven't had the courage or strength to do before. This is what retrograde planets are about. And try not to succumb to the temptation to fight, to retaliate, to bicker, to be overly dramatic, and be careful for little accidents as well. But the ultimate goal of Mars retrograde is much more positive. And we'll speak about each sign where it is happening. And it's actually going in Capricorn. And it's turning direct only in the last 2 days of month of August. So it's mostly retrograde the whole August. And then you have Mercury retrograde till the 19th of August. And Mercury is about communication, about talking, about information. So you might have to be working on something using 3 times more of your skills, which what Mercury rules, 3 times more of your communicative abilities, of your ability to, to explain things, of your ability to use your hands or your mind or your skills in some way. It's more challenging when a planet is retrograde because we have to use 3 times more energy. So maybe some of you will be using 3 times more energy and skills to fix some communicative errors, some administrative errors, to organize, to manage, to prepare something, to put final touches, to complete some mercurial projects, which are of the mind, of writing, of speaking, of communicating, of business commercial transactions. So you're fixing something there while Mercury is retrograde till the 19th. And of course, we have, though, a lot of support as well, because we have Jupiter, amidst all those difficult influences, the solar eclipse, Mercury and Mars retrograde, you have two very beneficial influences. So the universe is kind to us. It doesn't just burden us with one after another difficult influences. It gives us a helping hand. And one of them is the Jupiter trine Neptune. The whole month it is active. The whole month they're within a degree from each other, from the orb, and they're happening in water signs. Extremely healing influence. I've given some keywords. Easy flow, we'll speak about each sign where you're going to experience this easy flow, this healing, help from somewhere, divine help. It might be almost like divine intervention, something happening by magic, spirituality, healing, kindness, tolerance. You can experience all those things. It's very emotionally soothing. It kind of gives you sense of happiness within in certain areas of your life, and things happening like by magic. And then there is another trine, very rare one, between Uranus and Saturn, which is active the whole August, again in earth signs this time. And earth signs are material manifestation. So in certain other areas of your life, you'd have groundingness, you'd have productive results, material results. You're going to have easy material results because it's an easy aspect. And you're going to have you're going to build up something new on top of something old, strengthen old foundations by incorporating something new, and that is not going to destroy old foundations in your life. It's just going to build up upon them. So we do have some helps, and now let's see how it is going to affect each of the 12 signs. Sagittarius, let's see how this usually very good month for Sagittarius, since it's a fire month, how it's going to affect you this year, because it's a bit more intense than normal. But it's still going to be supportive, because even the eclipse is happening in a fire sign in Leo, which is sending helpful aspects to your sign, to Sagittarius. And especially the importance that you have to check is first your ascendant, the sign of the ascendant sign, the prediction for the ascendant sign, the prediction for the moon sign second, and the prediction for the sun sign third. So if you have sun, moon, or ascendant in Sagittarius, this eclipse actually in the ninth house in Leo should not be so disruptive. If anything, it should bring some new, and we said it's about new beginnings and it's about changes, some new ninth house is plans for the future for you, and they can start materializing over the next 9 months. It can be like a new beginning in regards to your higher education or pre-qualification. All of a sudden you might say, like, I don't want to study this anymore, I want to study something totally new. It can also bring some new belief systems to you. Some of you, even I've seen people when there is an eclipse with the North Node, because North Node symbolizes something new and foreign, that they can adopt a new religion or new faith over the next few months after that. Or they adopt a new belief system. They discover suddenly some teaching or a spiritual teacher or some philosophy or ideology that takes them by storm, and that kind of totally transforms their perception of the world, because the ninth house is this higher mind through which we perceive reality. And this is such an important house, because when you change your beliefs, your whole reality starts changing. Because if you believe that life has no meaning, that we die and that's it, well, you're going to live your life in more fear or in kind of meaninglessness. Or if you believe that resources are never enough, that God or the universe is kind of cruel, everyone for themselves, you're going to keep reflecting, you're going to keep seeing the same from the world. But if something breaks, you've reached like a breaking point. It's the last eclipse in Leo, the last really major eclipse in your ninth house, with the North Node, which indicates finding something new. For the next 19 years, there's not going to be such an eclipse in your ninth house. So now you have a very rare opportunity over the next 6 months after the eclipse to find new meaning in life, to find new belief system that is quite progressive and different than the traditional belief systems. Even if it's not religious one, it might be that you were brought up with. It might be just the perception of the world, how you perceive the world, how you perceive reality. Some people start studying something very new when there is an eclipse in their ninth house over the next 6 months. They can start studying philosophy, astrology, or something that gives or academics, they can get into academics, into university degree of some sort. I had a client who was in her 60s, and she was like, oh, well, what will this eclipse in the ninth house bring me? Like, I don't want to travel abroad or anything. And then it happened, and she got super excited to study in university, to do her master's degree, later in life. So it can bring such kind of pre-qualification or new ideas for studies, new, because your goals and how you perceive, because ninth house is how wide is your vision. If your vision is narrow, this is what you see from the world, only this is what you receive from the world. And the ninth house, eclipses or major triggers, they allow you to broaden your horizons and your vision of the world. So if you've been looking at the world through this hole now, maybe this eclipse will bring a bit bigger pothole to look, and you'll see like, oh my God, the world is not this tree that I see in front of the hole. The world is actually a whole forest, How much more opportunities does this open for you? How much more just seeing that something else is possible and believing it. Ninth house is our beliefs. Even if it feels foreign and shocking for you, somehow it opens such a wider horizon in front of you. So this is what's going to be happening. On another level, the ninth house, according to ancient astrology, is father figures, mentors, and teachers. You can discover a new teacher. You can discover a new philosophy, belief system. You can discover a new mentor, maybe at work. You can maybe some big change can be happening in the life of your father as well. Often, though, sometimes it can be preceded by some kind of crisis, or because it's kind of scary going into new things. All right, and also ninth house is foreign countries, faraway places. Maybe a new fascination can appear for you for foreign places. Maybe you can become more ambitious about traveling, or some kind of opportunity over the next 6 months, because Rahu is opportunistic. It brings material opportunities to relocate, to travel to foreign places, so to work with international companies, so to connect with foreign people of some sort, people that are not in your local environment. For example, people that are in different states, different social rank, different social class, higher, we're talking always, and people that are different cultures as well, that will broaden your horizons. If you're always mingling with people around you who kind of, they have a similar lifestyle and belief systems as you, and then you meet someone very different, and all the people around you, for example, they work 9 to 5, and you think this is reality, and you meet someone foreign, someone different, very different social status, and they introduce you to that you can live by working you can have your own company and be successful and don't have to go 9 to 5, and you start believing this opens, the more you believe, it opens horizons for you. For something like that will be happening for you guys. Maybe in August, some kind of awakening, new belief system, some kind of higher understandings, opening more of the landscape in front of you, which opens opportunities. But at the same time, Mercury is retrograde in your ninth house. So you're revising some of your old beliefs till around the 19th of August. You might be revising some of your old, maybe even seeing that they're not really correct, or that you've made some mistakes in regards to how you perceive reality and how you perceive possibilities in front of you. And you might be revising some old knowledge, for example. So that's something else, like rereading some old spiritual books that you've read before. Or you might be get in touch with an old teacher of yours, ninth house. So you might get in touch with your father, reconnect, Mercury retrograde at the same time till the 19th. But also there might be some more intense communications, and even some kind of clashes, because Mercury retrograde is about speaking up rather than keeping things bottled. In regards to your belief system. So there can be some very opinionated people that are trying to impose their belief systems on you, or you on them. And they can be from your close circle, but they can be some kind of the need for clarifications about the belief systems of you and another person, and their opinions and their ideologies. So that can create some kind of a tension there. All right. Then let's see the other aspects that are happening. Well, and they're very supportive. There is but on another level, because it's an eclipse, sorry, I forgot to say, it can create some crisis of faith for you. While the layers are adjusting, while you're passing through one perception of reality to another, there is always some kind of crisis of belief, or crisis of existential crisis a little bit, because eclipses, they never happen just like I woke up and I believe I can be a millionaire. Or I believe I can be famous or whatever. All of a sudden, No, it's kind of first your old beliefs are kind of trampled on, and you kind of life is meaningless, or life doesn't make sense till the new ones form. All right, so then you have very supportive aspect between Jupiter and Neptune, and it's active the whole month in your 12th and 4th houses. These are very healing houses, and they're in water signs, and the planet's extremely healing. As you've seen behind me, easy flow healing, and especially because they're in emotional houses, they can be healing of family problems. They can be healing of buried subconscious past life wounds and pains. Something that you've forgotten about that has been undermining your happiness. Fourth house is the foundational happiness of a person, how they feel emotionally within themselves. And because of this easy flow, there is some healing happening there. Maybe there is forgiveness between you and family members for past transactions. Maybe there is easy flow and positive moments with family. Uh, there can be the possibility and the opportunity to even start creating family for some of you. And they can be also um, some kind of hidden support from the invisible world, is the 12th house, from our ancestors, from those that have passed away, through your dreams, or just by giving you a thought or something, or just by arranging something from above for you, that improves your happiness, that improves your foundation in life, that creates more emotional stability and happiness in your life, or that help from your passed away ancestors about your current family, or about helping you find property, or helping you, some easy flow, or maybe hidden support. It doesn't always have to be dead people, the 12th house, or passed away people and ancestors, but it's also the house of God, and things happening magically and mystically, or support that comes to you unexpectedly. You're not aware of it. It's behind you. It's kind of like in your blind spot, and some benefic influence comes from there. Someone gives you a hand and helps out, improve the foundation of your life, or just helps you somehow feel happier, or helps you do some deal in regards to property, place of living, relocation. You can just receive some unexpected help for, in regards to home. But on another level as well, fourth house is our family, 12th house is having time away. So families can help us, maybe a family member, or can help us with certain responsibilities and chores, so you can relax more and take it easy and have more time away, and kind of mm, heal or go abroad. Also, any matters connected to property, vehicles, fourth house, family, will go and flow easy and receive support. And any matters connected to foreign travel, 12th house, will go easy and flow. And you see, the other house of foreign travel is also strongly triggered, so who knows, or foreign contacts at least. So some of you might be a very good month to start to relocate to a new place of living, to a new country as well, or if there were some complications in regards to papers and documents, by the end of the month, you'd have some breakthrough that happens easily, magically almost. All right, and then there is another trine between Uranus and Saturn in your horoscope. So it's happening in your second and sixth houses. They're material houses. They're connected to money and work, and they're also and health and what we eat. And they're also in earth signs, which are very practical, productive. And like I've written here, the Uranus Saturn trine will be very grounding, productive, materially successful in regards to resources for you, in regards to sorting out some debt, or maybe you can create some new debt that actually will stabilize your resources. Sometimes you can remortgage something, or bring think, because Uranus is something new, so you can think of some new mortgage company, six houses, kind of debts. So you can do some, not trick, but some kind of a maneuver that release some of your financial burdens. And or you can, for example, if you've been saving, the Saturn is saving in the second house. Now you can also pay off some debt, and Uranus is liberation from debt. But it's good if you're kind of financially, if you've been financially wise, it can be kind of they can be good manifestations now in regards to your resources, some alleviation of financial troubles as well. Or if you've done some good work, sixth house is our service, our work, you can receive better, you can get a bit more savings, or you can receive some more material remuneration for that somehow. uh, Sixth house is also so work, so kind of work can be more stabilizing. Our assets and resources can be more stabilizing. And second house is food. Sixth house is our health routines. And you can kind of introduce some new health routines, Uranus, and add it already to Saturn is what we eat, and Saturn in the second allows you to restrain yourself with eating better. To restrain, and sometimes it can do it by force, that you kind of force that you cannot eat all the things you want, unfortunately, if it's allergies or something. But Uranus, they can bring some solution and some sudden realization of what you can do in your health routines and habits, or what kind of healing methods, and sixth house about healing, about medicine you can introduce that can help with some food allergies or food restrictions. Or you can basically implement some new diet, especially since Saturn is giving you more self-control in the second house. uh, those new diets and health routines can stabilize your overall health and weight, and uh, such kind of stuff. Well, so yeah, so there's financially and materially and work stabilizing influence. There can be some new conditions in your work environment as well because of Uranus that can you have to implement and embrace those, but it eventually can stabilize your resources and finances. And sixth house is also your employees. Maybe you can hire new employees, so if you're a boss or manager somewhere, new employees can come to you, uh, and that will affect the your resources beneficially in the long run, and you can receive more help to them through them as well. All right. Or if you are the employee yourself, Uranus in the sixth house trine Saturn indicates that you can implement some new methods, more efficient methods, new technology in your say in the office, or the way how you're making your business. You can implement some new. Uh, it might be equipment. It might be kind of because Uranus is anything that is cutting edge, that is more progressive, so you can incorporate something more progressive, even if it feels a bit disruptive initially, but it will stabilize your income in the long term. All right, there we go, Sagittarius. Hope you enjoyed that one, and I will see you next month.